In just 10 days, 400,000 pounds of king crab were hauled up from the ocean floor, bringing in a staggering $7 million. But behind that overwhelming number lies an entire system of strict harvesting and processing procedures. This isn't some fabricated tale, it's the harsh and mesmerizing reality of the king crab fishing industry, one of the most expensive seafood markets in the world today. Behind those impressive figures is a grueling journey, fishermen battling the rough seas for long periods, enduring fierce waves, and relying on split-second precision and skill in the icy waters. King crab, also known as the king of crabs, is one of the largest and rarest crab species in the world. With their long legs, spiny bodies, and weight that can exceed 10 kilograms, over 22 pounds, they truly deserve the title King of Crabs. This species mainly inhabits cold, deep waters, especially the Bering Sea between Alaska and Russia, where temperatures often stay below 0 degrees Celsius year-round. The harsh environment causes king crabs to grow slowly, but it's precisely this slow development that gives their meat its firm texture, rich sweetness, and high nutritional value. Notably, only mature male crabs are allowed to be harvested in order to protect the population and maintain natural reproduction. King crab is also among the seafood with the strictest and most sustainable harvesting regulations today. Not only is it considered a premium dish in five-star restaurants, but king crab has also become a symbol of luxury and sophistication in global cuisine, especially popular in Japan, South Korea, China, and the United States. Unlike most other professions, king crab fishing requires meticulous preparation and nerves of steel. Fishermen in the Alaskan waters usually begin their voyages in October, when the official harvest season opens. This is also when the weather turns brutal, with snow, massive waves, and bone-chilling winds. King crab fishing vessels, often ranging from 30 to 50 meters in length, are equipped with GPS navigation systems, radar, seabed scanners, and crane arms for hauling traps. On board, hundreds of heavy iron traps, known as crab pots, each weighing over 300 pounds, are stacked neatly. In addition, bait containers filled with herring or cod are prepared to lure the crabs from the ocean depths. Every detail must be thoroughly checked, because even a small mistake can turn a weeks-long trip into a disaster, causing not just financial loss, but potentially endangering the entire crew's lives. Upon reaching the fishing grounds, the captain determines potential coordinates based on experience, seabed maps, and historical data. Then, dozens of traps are dropped into the sea at evenly spaced intervals, each one marked with a floating buoy and an identification tag. The crab pots are set at depths ranging from 100 to 400 feet, approximately 30 to 120 meters, where king crabs dwell in the cold, dark waters. The bait inside the trap slowly disperses through the current, attracting crabs from all around to crawl in through a one-way entrance. Typically, the traps are left underwater for 24 to 48 hours to maximize effectiveness. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . During that time, the vessel either continues setting traps in other areas or begins retrieving older ones, depending on the schedule. Once enough time has passed, the crew begins hauling up the traps, a tense task that requires strength and endurance. Each trap weighs hundreds of kilograms, and when lifted out of the water, it's filled with thrashing crabs banging against the iron cage. It's a suspenseful moment. The number of crabs in each trap can determine the earnings of the entire trip. Because king crabs are extremely sensitive, if not handled properly, they can easily die and their meat will become mushy, losing its value. Therefore, fishing vessels must be equipped with cold circulating seawater tanks to keep the crabs alive in an environment that closely resembles their natural habitat. Some more modern boats will quickly kill the crabs using a shock freezing method, then immediately freeze them for preservation. The choice of method depends on the purpose, whether to export live crabs or to process them as frozen seafood later. Each king crab fishing trip is a risky journey between the fury of nature and the hope for massive profits. To bring each crab to a luxurious dining table, hundreds of fishermen have to work tirelessly in freezing temperatures, out in the unforgiving open sea. After being caught from the icy waters and carefully preserved on board, king crabs begin their second journey, the journey of transforming into a luxury dish through meticulous processing and preparation. This is the stage that determines the quality, value, and prestige of every piece of crab meat. No need for excessive seasoning or complex techniques. The best way to cook king crab is to preserve its natural purity. For a seafood known as the king of crabs, overly elaborate cooking can sometimes overshadow the crab's original sweetness. It should not be overcooked. The meat will become mushy and lose its natural flavor. If using frozen crab, it should be thawed slowly in the refrigerator for at least 8 hours before cooking. No need for fancy methods. It's the simplicity and subtlety in preparation that hold the key to preserving the pure, natural taste of king crab. Whether steamed, grilled, or cooked in hot pot, each dish is a way to honor the distinctive sweetness of this ocean king. From a wild creature in the cold seafloor, the king crab goes through a rigorous handling process much like a piece of fine jewelry, carefully crafted and packaged with precision. It's not just food, it's culinary art, where every detail contributes to the value of one of the world's most expensive and prized seafood delicacies. After being carefully caught, processed, and packaged, king crabs enter the final stage of the supply chain: distribution, consumption, and export. This is the phase that determines profitability, where the value of the crab is elevated as it appears in high-end restaurants, international seafood markets, and lavish banquets. A successful fishing trip during the season can bring in anywhere from $500,000 to over $1 million per voyage. The king crab market is a game of quality, speed, and reputation, a field where not everyone can compete long-term without strong resources. From steel traps on the ocean floor to five-star dining tables in Tokyo, Seoul, or New York, each king crab is a true seafood ambassador, carrying with it the story of the sea, the fishing trade, and the enduring value of hard labor. It is not just food, it is a symbol of luxury, prestige, and a global commitment to quality.